Holoforms gives new life to units like Legendary Leif. Let's talk about what skills you need to target, how to use him, and we'll even talk about what's coming up in the coming months for Holoforms. Let's get right to it though and talk to why you should pick this unit. This unit is a dual phase brave weapon with GALEFORCE. Those are two things that do not go out of style. The big thing is, does this have enough hitting power? And you can do that with these new skills you can get. We're going to talk all about that. There are some new ways you can use this unit with hit and run, with Vantage, on defense. This unit is really interesting. Let's look a bit at the refine though. What you're looking at here is a max invested Leif. So this is all out, plus 10 summoner support, all the flowers. 67 attack is really, really high on a brave weapon. You'll also notice the stat line, and this is big to notice, is the bulk on this unit is very good. So you can take a hit. That's going to be a theme through most of this. If you add in a skill like Remote Sparrow, suddenly you have the additional damage reduction, and this unit can start to quad if they have the right things around them. You're going to really enjoy this unit in Arena. Those who have this unit already know that though. Aether raids, we're going to show some new ways to use this unit. Summoner duels is not the mode for this unit. We're not even going to go over it this time. This is not the unit for that. GALEFORCE is not valued in that mode for the most part. But let's look at this refine just closer. So this is an Omni +4. You get impact if it's in the player's hands. You get the dual phase brave. You get the tempo, which is really important for that GALEFORCE. And then you get 10% true damage, which is excellent with the brave. Now, for Nurin Zeal 2, you have cooldown -1 on turn 1, and then of course you have the GALEFORCE effect. A lot of folks were not happy about this refine, but understand the simplicity does not mean it's bad. This unit has all the right things in it for this unit. It's doubling down on the fact that this is a hit and run GALEFORCE unit, and I mean, it's tough to not be happy about that. Let's look a little bit about how the unit performs in Arena though. Just so you know the setup here, all I've given is an Omni +6 to everyone. There's no summoner support or anything like that because generally you're not going to get that in Arena anyway. You're not going to summoner support your legendary. You're normally going to summoner support your bonus unit, if any. The first thing you want to notice is Duo Chrom, which I did not expect this unit to do that well. Like, you can really pound into this defensive behemoth that is Chrom. A lot of that is because of the true damage. Excellent result there. Excellent result versus Leg Yarn, which is not a surprise because, I mean, this is a flyer. We get into some more dicey things like Asker. Asker, particularly when he has support, and we're going to go over a few matches with Asker because I think that is one of the units that really, really stops Lee from doing what he wants to do. The thing you want to look at here is the fact that if this unit attacked into Asker again after proccing Nurin Zeal, they would win. So most of the time now you're going to want to hit and you're going to want to get out of there. That's a big thing, but know that if you are in a position where you can take this unit out without getting attacked by other units, that is possible with this build. The last thing is Chrom. I don't see a whole lot of properly built Chroms, the legendary variety. And that is probably going to change as people start to use the unit more. With a lot of the newer skills, Chrom can be an absolute monster. And I mean, he shows it here versus Leif. As far as the others go, I don't think it's any surprise that this unit takes out Guinevere. That was just never going to be something that was going to be possible. It takes out Byleth just easily. Does not take out Sita, and I was hoping that Remote Mirror could possibly change that, but that is just not in the cards, and you get a stalemate versus Legendary Dimitri, which again is kind of expected just because of the kind of unit that is. But let's look at how this unit performs, and the first thing I want to see is Chrom himself. This is a big deal, still to this day, a measure of how good your unit is. Can you take out Chrom? Because you're going to see this unit in every match. Folks love this unit, and I understand why. I have one for Arena, and he is amazing. What you want to see here now, this is a +2 with not very good skills. We take out Byleth easy. What you're about to see is that we do not take out Chrom easily. We have to wait a turn on that one. So we knock Guinevere out of the way because why not? And then we have to wait for everything to set up properly, getting our units in the right spot. So off we go, and luckily I have Peony as a dancer so we can get everyone out of the way. Crom comes up, and you're going to see now that things are in a little better position, Leif can take this unit out. Keep in mind again, this is not a very well invested Leif. Death Blow 4 is not the most premium of skills, and Joint Drive Attack is pretty good, but there is nowhere to go but up for this unit as you get inheritance. The next thing I want to look at here is the match versus Asker. I wanted this to go a little differently, but this does show off GALEFORCE in all of its glory and how good it is in Arena, especially if you don't have a dancer. I do, I'm very benefited there, but you can see Tana obviously goes out easily, but then you can go another step and take out Thor, and half the map is gone. That's really nice for a Leif that is not very well invested. You get everyone in position and prepare for the evils of Duo Asker. For low damage units like Leif, Asker is always going to be an issue, and you can see it here. The strategy with Asker in general is just to wait until they're the last unit on the board and take them out there. Now, we've talked about it a little bit, but understand that if you have an invested one, this is a lot better matchup, and particularly Remote Sparrow does a lot of good. But you can see right there, could not take Asker out even though he was alone. So, good times. Anyway, now that the harmonic skill is gone, we can go ahead and just smack the unit into oblivion, and all is well. But you guys know how this unit works in Arena. Like, this is not a big surprise. This is nothing new. What I want to look at is a little bit of Aether raids, and this is where things really get interesting. Understand what I've got here is a very specific kind of support in Astra Season. You can see I'm using this unit on offense. This is a hit and run variety here, and the way I'm going to do this is I am going to support with Plumeria. Naga is very important, and you get Aether, who's also important. Aether gives out attack, but remember Naga, a lot of folks forget this, but you get dragon effectiveness, you also get a guaranteed follow-up, which is very, very powerful in Leif's hands. One of the things we're seeing more of as we move from Hardy Fighter into the armored skills is that null follow-up that was in Hardy Fighter is no longer there. And so suddenly these guaranteed follow-ups are starting to be good again. You can see the effects right here. Now understand this is with what I mean by GALEFORCE there is the unit has hit into Hector, for instance, and procced Nurin Zeal and then was able to hit in again. That's really taking advantage of that GALEFORCE hit, and most of the time, keep in mind this is that initial hit, you can dance, pull the unit back out, have the safety fence go off, and go back in. That's kind of the scenario we're looking at here. The thing is, the unit is able to kill these units. That is not a small thing. There are not a lot of units that can do that right now. Armored skills are very, very good and continue to be a huge influence on the meta. Having a unit that can punch through that and can survive a hit back. Like, there are 4 hits coming at all of these units. It's a big deal. So all of my defensive units here are supported by Arvel, Mirabilis, and of course FOMO. What that gives is res, and speed. So Hector is, of course, buffed up in a res here. You can see Tiki, and the real reason that this unit is winning is because of Naga, and Naga's value just continues to go up, especially as Tiki's use does. Fomortis, who you just see everywhere, also gets just pummeled here, and that's a great thing. Young Hector, I mean, what do you do? Young Hector was designed to withstand units like Leif. That was not a thing that was going to happen. So anyway, though, it's nice to see this unit's limitations. I want to take you through some matchups here, and before we go over that hit and run, I wanted to go over kind of a more niche example here of Vantage. What you're seeing here is, of course, Bernie. Spring Bernie is the one that I have, and you're getting set up with my this is my 1+1 Plumeria, and The thing you want to watch here is this matchup with Asker, because that is the hard one. He's the one with the most bulk. Shez goes first, which is always a good thing. Then you come in with Asker, and this is absolutely incredible that you're able to take Asker out with 2 hits. That took a lot of stacking on my part, but still understand that this is a very poorly invested Leif. Those are 2 Brazens you're seeing there. So, yeah. You get better skills for this unit is going to have better results. Just keep that in mind. Understand that the biggest thing about this configuration is that you want to put in a damaging special instead of Nirnzeal. Deadeye works way better than Moonbow, but I didn't have a Deadeye to give this unit. It was still enough. Just know that Deadeye is really going to put this unit over the top as a Vantage unit. Other than that, I mean, is there anything better to have an initiator that can move 3 spaces to get pots after the map is cleared? It's absolutely fantastic. Let's go over to the hit and run stuff though and go, this is where this unit really thrives. I think we all know that Vantage is, as much as I love it, and you guys know I just tout that all over the place, hit and run is really where this unit shines. What you're going to see here, and you just saw him miss that kill from Tiki by 1. Understand if you had the Remote Sparrow build, that would be a good thing because you could go in there, you'd be damaged once, and then you'd be in Wings of Mercy or Escape Route range, whichever one you pick. Escape Route is better for hit and run to pull the unit back out, but there are lots of different things you can do. But look at this unit, Quad Femortis, and that's what I'm talking about with that Naga support. That's huge. Naga just continues to gain value. I don't know how many times I can say it. We don't take out Asker because Asker's really tough to take out. But once you take out 2 units like that and you have isolation on that Mira, you can pull back and let the enemy come to you. We're going to see that here. The next piece I want to see is some of that creative play you get with Nirnzeal, where this unit gets to basically attack twice. It is something that is really nice to have. More actions is always better. Action economy isn't as big in the Aether Raids realm as it is in the Summoner Duels realm, but it is still a big deal. You can just ask DTM on that. The more actions you have, the more likely you are to win. But you can see this unit kind of fly around the map. We just got that extra attack there. We do have the gravity effect that's put on the unit, but with the correct setup, that is less of an issue. What you're going to see here is we end up having units left over that can still act, which is kind of amazing in the context of hit and run. And things like this are really bringing hit and run back into the meta. Understand that the updated builds with Remote Sparrow are going to perform a lot better and give you a lot more creativity in how you do things. But that doesn't mean you absolutely have to have those in order to use this Leif. It just limits the number of teams you can go against. All right, the last thing I want to talk about, and I don't have any video on this, but the Cav line approach. And basically what you're making here is a different version of Shamir. I'm not even going to say a downgrade. Shamir has obviously the parts that support the other team with Discord, but this is a unit that can do a lot of things. So essentially you're creating a Wings of Mercy beacon. You have both the damage reduction from Brash Assault and Remote Sparrow. In case you weren't aware, Brash Assault, the ice mirror portion that reflects back the damage, doesn't stack with other things that reduce damage. It is just Brash support, the Brash support component of that. This is still an excellent thing to have that much damage reduction though, and you can see the HP levels are perfect then to have some Wings of Mercy shenanigan happen. But understand what's really going on here is the unit is hitting, being able to canto over and being able to act one more time with gravity, but being able to attack one more time, and then other units can fly in and shenanigans happen. It is a very powerful thing, and I was absolutely surprised by this result. The problem, and the reason I haven't suggested Brash Assault on this unit before now, is because Brash Assault is not available in this Hall of Forms. But if you are a Leif super fan, you can get the other pieces to this, have some other builds, and then get Brash Assault at a later date on this unit. Just understand that it is a very, very valuable skill on units like Leif, especially in a meta where null follow-up is not as prevalent as it once was. We still do get null follow-up on units, don't get me wrong, but it is something that a lot of times players neglect. It's not that the value's gone down, it's just that there are other new shiny toys that are distracting folks. It happens. Let's talk about the skills. I've got some different builds here, but understand this is very much a mix and match depending on your style of play and what you're trying to get out of this unit. And those different things you can get can apply to Arena or Air Defense or Air Offense. For the assist, understand that in Arena, Harsh Command Plus's value has gone up a lot since Robin. There are some really fantastic things that you can accomplish because that Robin is there. I've seen so much more Harsh Command, it's absolutely ridiculous. Keep that in mind as you're doing this. For defense, for the most part, you don't want Harsh Command and you want Rally Up Attack. Those Rally Up skills kind of change the way that the mechanics work and also let you rally up more units. So it's a lot easier to get this unit to jump in front and rally everyone and not stay in place and rally there. So just understand that. If you want to know more on that, for the love of God, ask Penrost. They're the mechanics guru, and if you haven't seen their defense clears, you should definitely check them out. For air offense, I mean, it's dealer's choice there. I would probably pick Harsh Command because I think it's rarer than the rally up skills, but that depends on what's in your barracks. As far as the special goes, the special that I'm picking is probably Deadeye every time. Ruptured Sky is interesting and something you can try out if you'd like. But if, for instance, if you have a ton of Deadeye fodder, which they've actually given us quite a bit. So if that floats your boat, then by all means go for it. But that's pretty much across all of these. Deadeye is going to be your better special. Possibly Blue Flame you could get, but that's at the low bottom of it. It's like Deadeye, Ruptured Sky, Blue Flame. Anyway, a skill. I am in love with the idea of Remote Mirror, and I think on offense and in Arena, it's probably your go-to skill. It is really fantastic on this unit and does some fun stuff, but understand on defense, there are so many debuffs coming from offensive teams. Most of the time, they don't even realize they're doing them. That Unity skills are never a bad thing, and depending on what you're seeing, depending on what your problems are, attack defense Unity can be absolutely amazing. This has been heightened even more with the event of Legendary Robin and how prevalent he is in the entire meta. The last option there is Fury 4. It's my least favorite of these three, and the reason is you need absolutely every bit of hitting power that you can possibly get out of this unit. That's really important. And Fury 4 just doesn't have as much. But if you wanted to build a very reliable escape route for unit, then Fury 4 and Fury 3 Seal is the way to go, and I can't fault you for getting that. I think that's a fantastic way to go. As far as the B skills, it is very unfortunate that Brash Assault isn't available here because I think that would be the hands down best pick you could get. I think we're going to see Brash Assault in a lot of Holoforms builds once it's available. But Wings of Mercy 4 and Escape Route 4 are two flavors of very good skills that this unit can get. Escape Route 4 is more if this is the main initiator, then the unit can back out and get out of there. If this is a secondary initiator of any sort in any mode, Wings of Mercy is fantastic, especially with the increased range that it gives you. Seal Defense 4 is another option. Probably either in defense or arena, you could probably run that. And just any chance you can get to debuff defense when you have a brave weapon means you get double the effect. So keep that in mind. I'm a little less thrilled with the C skills for this unit. You have all the smokes. Attack Smoke 4 is probably my least favorite, just because I feel like there are easier ways to deny doubles than Attack Smoke 4, but it is definitely there. Defense Res Smoke 4 is 3 is very interesting, simply because Pathfinder becomes really, really unique on defense and can create some absolutely terrible things. So understand that is a fun pick to have. Panic Smoke 4 is probably my pick for the best C skill though. Any chance you get to take this unit and increase the amount of attack it's getting, I think you should take it, just flat out. So if you're asking me what build I'm getting, this would be my dream build here. I understand that Brash Assault 4 isn't available. I'll be going for Escape Route 4. But Brash Assault 4 is very, very good, and I would be preparing for that if I was a Leif super fan. And the best way to prepare for that is Panic Smoke 4, Remote Mirror, and Deadeye. So understand that that's probably what I will be prepping this unit for. Even if I am not able to get Brash Assault, I still would like this unit to be ready for that. And I think this is generally a better build than the others. But that depends on what's in your barracks and what you want to use this unit for. Let's hop back to this tier list and really dig into this. Now, this is one of the things they're doing a lot of in these holoforms, is giving us these tier 2 legendaries. And I think that's a really fun thing. It is a chance for these units to kind of catch up with their peers. Older units benefit so much from these new skills, and the way they have been progressing the meta is through skills right now. So we have a lot of stuff we can give these older units. It makes them so much more powerful. And I mean, you just saw this unit, this old legendary taking on Bridal Tiki, one of the premier Far Saviors, and winning. That's tough to argue with. But anyway, you can definitely see some shifting in this. We don't have to talk about this here, but understand that Crom with the new Refine, as much as folks don't like it, I still think it is very good and puts him up in tier 1, even if a lot of folks were hoping that would vault him into tier 0. Dancers are amazing. I'm higher on Gwen than most people, so you're probably going to see her dropping in others' rankings, and I think the unit is still very good. But yeah, I would expect to see these others, as they start to get their refines, to also start climbing the ranks too, and we'll have a lot of shuffling. It gets very hard to do these things with the new skills because there are so many different options that you can have. Last up, we have the upcoming Formas. Now, these speculations have been pretty good so far, so we can't say for sure that we're going to get a legendary every month. It is... Obviously, we're not. I mean, we don't have enough to do that. But August looks like it's Roy, and Roy would benefit a ton from some of these new infantry skills. Just absolutely would. It would make him a very, very good unit. We'll discuss that when it comes in August. In September, we have either Hector or Lynn, and that isn't confirmed yet either, but either of those units would be just amazing. We've already talked about Brash Assault 4. It would be very good on Lynn. Hector, though, would probably benefit the most, just because the huge shift in the meta really plays into what he likes to do. With the Armored Beacon and the new fighter skills, I think an upgrade on him would be incredible. October is interesting, and it looks to be confirmed that we're getting both Ephraim and Erica. Now, I just sat here and told you that we don't have enough legendary heroes to do one every month, and we're getting 2 in October. So I don't know what the deal with that is. I'm very curious, and I'm waiting to see. I have not had the best RNG in holoforms lately, so I'm a little scared because I'll want both of those units. If you like the video, you can definitely hit the thumbs up, or if you'd like to support us more, you can do that through Super Chats. It is always appreciated. It lets the channel do a lot more fun things. You can also become a member, and thank you to the members. You guys are amazing and let me do so much more with this channel. I appreciate it greatly. Summoners, if you want to hear more, go tap on the button and check out the meta report. It lets you know what's going on and where. Take care and schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.